Hello everybody and welcome to Gene's Reviews from a regular dude, where I do trailer reactions, I react to YouTube videos, I review YouTube channels, occasionally I'll review a movie, but really, I just do whatever the hell I want. Hello everybody and welcome to Gene's Reviews from a regular dude down in the basement. Okay, I haven't done one from Chills in a long time. So we're going to do this one. Top 10 scary videos that'll make you breathe manually. Don't you already breathe manually? I don't get that title. I'm trying to be a little bit too clever there, but that just doesn't work. I don't understand. Okay, let's check it out.
Some videos are so terrifying that you may catch yourself holding your breath. Number 10. Emergency landing. Imagine recording a selfie video after an emergency landing in the Pacific Ocean. That's what this pilot did in August of 2019 when two aircrafts were taking part in an aerial photo shoot. The video captures the aftermath of an emergency landing in Half Moon Bay near San Francisco. One of the planes, a single-engine Beechcraft Bonanza, malfunctioned, losing power. Video footage from above caught the landing, which was an admirably safe one.
Wow, it looks pretty rough.
Managed to stay in the air. The downed pilot, David Leash, and his passenger both survived after Leash set the plane down nicely in the water. Leash then captured the aftermath of the incident on video while standing abroad the wing of the plane and later hanging onto pieces of floating items like seat cushions and window shades to help the pair tread water until rescuers arrived. The plane can be seen in the video going bottoms up, sinking nose first into the ocean. The pair, in fairly good spirits all things considered, managed their best to stay afloat, although David notes the water is quite cold.
I'll bet.
The water's a little bit cold, but we're alright. I set it down real easy.
No one got hurt.
No, we're good. Did everything right.
Thankfully, overhead, his fellow pilots sent mayday calls to the Coast Guard, alerting them to the incident. Still, the pair were risking hypothermia in cold water for around 40 minutes by the time a Coast Guard helicopter that was on a training mission arrived. David continued filming as they were being airlifted out of there. Although they certainly were lucky, they didn't make it out pain-free while waiting. They'd been repeatedly stung by jellyfish. Number 9. Claustrophobic hole. Published to YouTube in December of 2019.
I am pretty claustrophobic. If I can't move at all, I'd go nuts. I remember being a little kid and going with my dad in his semi. And if he had to pull over and sleep and we were both going to go to sleep in the sleeper, they have the sleepers in the semi trucks. I had to be on the outside so I could dangle my leg out, because if I was pushed up against the wall, I'd go ballistic.
Brandon Gross writes, "My friend Danielle took me into one of the craziest caves I've ever seen. I'm very bad with tight spaces and decided to face my fears. Would he live to regret it?" The footage follows the pair squeezing into a tight slot. Holding onto a rope, they descend into what can only be a claustrophobic nightmare. As the underground cave gets tighter and more suffocating by the minute, the cave widens and narrows, but at one point, Brandon notes that the space into which he intends to squeeze is only as wide as the length of his foot. Slithering through the caves, they finally reach the bottom cavern. When they start to continue exploring the claustrophobic corners, Brandon experiences a brief panic attack but continues on. Seeing his friend Danielle wriggle ahead as she navigates further restrictive spaces would make anyone squirm, and squirm Brandon does, but he manages to make his way back to the light. When at last Brandon squeezes his way out of the hole, he celebrates being free from that claustrophobic nightmare. Number 8.
Reminds me of that movie, The Descent. At least they didn't run across any monsters down there or anything.
Waterlogged. Are you heading out to a seaside restaurant tonight? You might want to reconsider. Published to YouTube by Ed Haddon in March of 2014. They wrote,
looks like a
Jill
tsunami.
Freeland, the artist and videographer, was having breakfast this morning at Moby Dick's with her family and got a little more sea salt than was on the menu. The footage shows the restaurant overlooking a stormy gray sea. While the customers await their meal, they helplessly watch as the waves take on a life of their own. They probably think they're safe inside, but boy are they wrong.
Time to go.
Yeah.
Water crashes against the window and glass shatters as the spectators scream. Someone calmly says, "Time to go," and the customers are told to leave the restaurant, which they do without argument. It appears that no one was hurt in the incident, but they certainly saw firsthand how indifferent Mother Nature is to brunch. Number 7. Help me. Baby monitors sometimes capture that which we don't even know is there. This creepy clip was posted to r/ghosts by Zealous Ideal Call 53. It shows a monitor placed in a child's bedroom. The baby is playing while her guardian appears to be on her phone. All is normal until you turn up the sound. A growl of a voice snarls "help me" 3 times in a row at the beginning of the video. Neither the baby nor the young woman in the video appears to hear the voice. Is it crossed wires with a nearby baby monitor? Did someone hack the monitor's sound? Or is it an EVP capturing someone beyond crying out for help?
I think
The
it could
Redditor
be just
explains
put
in
in
the
afterwards.
comments that this isn't the only strange occurrence in their house, and that paranormal events have regularly been happening since she was pregnant. The Redditor writes, "We've had another incident with her nanny cam and seeing a black shadow near her, an orb, and her suddenly waking up screaming. I've had issues in my own room with the feeling of someone watching me, breathing on my neck, severe night terrors, and missing items that suddenly return. Does this give more credence to the presence of a paranormal entity? My answer is yes."
I can
Number
hear it,
6.
but it sounds to me like it's put on, but I don't know. Who knows? I wasn't there.
Cork crowbar lurker. Better safe than sorry. This video proves that saying couldn't be more true. A mother in Cork, Ireland was threatened via letter by a former work colleague. In fact, he was watching her, and CCTV footage caught her terrifying ordeal on camera. After someone had painted her car tires pink and put X's and O's on the car's windows, as well as the message "I win." The homeowner, Una Ring, installed a CCTV camera outside her home. It captured her work colleague posting a menacing letter to the windshield of her car. What it said was so disturbing I can't say it here. Thankfully, a civilian police force known as Guardians of the Peace of Ireland were made aware of the lurker's threats and were surveilling Una's home. What followed was the lurker's escalation. He came around Una's with a crowbar in hand and was caught on camera approaching her property. He was also discovered to be in possession of rope and duct tape. The suspect was confronted by the protectors and was taken into custody. Una says she owes her life to them. The creep was given 5 years behind bars for his actions. Number 5. Phantom Theater. When performing at...
Finally, justice. He should get 5 years, at least 5 years.
At the theater, more often than not, you hope to entertain, but
I think
some
this
audiences
is old.
are
I've
not
seen
very
this.
lively. Originally published by YouTuber Phil Koch, this footage shows a paranormal investigation. While exploring a haunted theater, Phil kicks back in his theater seat, sitting alone in the dark room. A wide shot shows no one in the aisle behind Phil. The row is entirely empty. Little does he know he's in for more than a show. Watch the seat to his left behind him. While sitting there staring forward, the seat shudders back and forth, as if someone pushed it down to sit but then decided against it. Although he couldn't have seen the movement, The sound sends Phil fleeing the scene, likely without any desire for an encore.
Someone could be on the other side of that seat knocking it down. So it's not proof, but I don't know. The way he moved it looked genuine. But I don't know. Someone could be behind there and knocking that seat down.
Likely without any desire for an encore.
Real easily.
Perhaps this entire theater is reserved for the passed on, and he and his paranormal team disturbed a packed house. But another investigation by Phil is gaining much traction in the Spanish-speaking community. While investigating, this door opens right in front of him, and people are claiming to see this figure.
It's still back here again. And we'll take a look.
La Llorona.
What do you think? I just know I wouldn't be going anywhere near that building. Number 4, Prison Screech. We may have just discovered the soundtrack to your nightmares. Published to YouTube by Column A in June of 2019. This clip shows a young man in a prison cell, no context given. He speaks to the camera and, in the midst of his monologue, he gives a strange, otherworldly shriek like a velociraptor. Why? Well, YouTubers have a wealth of hypotheses. For example, Lord Woody thinks that the man is sucking the soul out of the cameraman. I just know if I were in this situation, I'd be getting the heck out of there.
He's mentally ill.
Number 3.
That's what I think.
Being followed. Do you feel like someone's pursuing you? Then you should probably trust your gut. Published to YouTube by Upbeat Yamaha in February of 2019. This video follows a motorcyclist minding his own business on the open road. Wearing a GoPro, he manages to capture a white truck in front of him. Nothing out of the ordinary. Ahead, the truck pulls over to the side of the road. So that's gonna start following him? This too appears innocent enough, but after passing the white truck and later taking a turn onto a side street, seeing the truck continue along, you probably wouldn't expect what comes next. The biker returns to the main road, and the same white truck now a ways ahead pulls over again, letting him pass a second time. The biker starts to wonder what's going on. Even more worrisome, he thinks the truck is following him. He suspects the driver might be trying to record his license plate to report him for something, although he says he hasn't done anything to report. He again pulls over at an intersection and attempts to wait out the suspect, who has stopped as well. The biker says the man in the truck is attempting to wave him on. After a brief face-off, the biker turns to the left, noting the guy's plate number and saying he was taking pictures of him. While the video doesn't come to any concrete conclusion about what the white truck wanted, the biker suspects that he's dealt with the same man before. Some in the comments think it's probably just some angry boomer who's mad about how loud the bike is.
Probably.
Others advise that if this happens again, to pull into a fire station, as they most certainly will help someone being followed. A cautionary tale if there ever was one. For all we know, this lurker could have had even more sinister motives. Number 2.
If I was on a motorcycle, I wouldn't be too worried, because a motorcycle can outrun that truck any day of the week. But, I don't know, it is kind of creepy.
Paranormal motorcycle. What lurks in your alley in the middle of the night? This video may surprise you.
I think I've seen this.
Published to YouTube by Tasklock in March of 2021. The security footage was recorded on the 30th of December 2020 at around 4 in the morning. An empty road with a few motorcycles and bicycles parked along each side, still in the darkness, at least for the moment. Suddenly, someone invisible decides to take this bike out for a spin. The motorcycle abruptly pulls out into the road, turning in place. At one point, it slows in its turning, then jerks forward and continues in its path before falling over on the side in the middle of the road. Could this just be something mechanical malfunctioning in the bike? Or did a ghost realize he didn't have enough momentum mid-launch? I've got a challenge for you.
I don't know what that would be, to be honest. I don't believe it was a ghost, but I don't know. That's pretty weird.
Since you've made it this far, why not like this video and hit subscribe in the next 5 seconds?
If you guys know, let me know in the
because
comments.
I upload 4 new scary videos every week. If you're curious about what I look like in real life, then go to my Instagram at DylanIsChillinYT and tap that follow button to find out. Number 1, not abandoned. A remote shanty house in the middle of nowhere. It's gotta be abandoned, right? Posted to r/ghosts by Livid Excuse 1640. This video reminds every paranormal explorer to be always on their guard. The Redditors driving down a dirt road at night in what appears to be the boonies with no lights around apart from a faint, distant glow. And yet in the middle of nowhere they come upon a rundown white house. It's dark and clearly abandoned, or
that's
so you
bad
think,
camera.
as the Redditor drives slowly past, shining a flashlight onto the house. He spotlights its empty and broken windows, nothing else, that is, until he zooms in on a center window. Here appears a white hooded figure without discernible features. The realization of what they're seeing scares them enough to drop their camera and drive away.
Yeah, I wouldn't stay.
While many Redditors in the comments believe the figure is a squatter rather than a ghost.
I wasn't thinking a squatter or a ghost. I was thinking some kind of ritual going on, and that would just make me not even want to go anywhere near it.
Sighting at an assumedly abandoned house would be unsettling regardless. The Redditor writes in the comments, I've been in the house once and it's like the people living there just up and left clothes in closets, dishes in the sink, toys on the floor. It was wild. I got halfway down the hallway and something that felt like pure evil came over me and I ran back out. He also shares some still photos with varying exposures that he took from the clip. What do you see in the Rorschach ink blot? This is only a test. If you're trying to fall asleep, watch something else because
Well, it's been a while since I've seen chills, so that was kind of interesting. Today I decided to go visit my childhood home. I asked the residents if I could come inside because, you know, I was feeling nostalgic. But they refused, slammed the door in my face. My parents are the worst. Thank you, everybody. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hashtag Mean Gene, all that fun stuff. And if you like this video, tell all your friends, leave a comment down below. And if you didn't like it, then just shut up. And I will see you next time.